Welcome to Crayola Creativity Week. Today's theme is social, emotional learning, and kindness. And our special guest creators are Laurie Hernandez and Nina Mata. Hi, guys. We're so pleased to have you with us today.
Hey, everybody. Laurie Hernandez here. It is so nice to be here and talk with all of you today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Laurie, please introduce yourself and tell students how creativity helped you to solve a problem as a gymnast and author.
I was a gold medal gymnast at the 2016 Olympic Games. I think a big way that creativity once helped me solve a problem was earlier this year, I was getting ready to do a competition and I needed to have a floor routine. And I didn't have a lot of time to hire someone who could help me cut the music or create the dance. So I got all my favorite songs together and I cut my own favorite music and I created my own kind of dance and I got to complete that routine.
Nina, please introduce yourself and tell students what creativity means to you as an artist.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nina. So I am a children's book illustrator, and what does creativity mean to me as an artist? It basically means anything that you can do to express yourself freely and with pretty much none to very little words.
Laurie, please read the book. She's Got This.
Here we have She's Got This. Every day before school, Zoe watched the birds perched in the tree outside her bedroom window. She loved the way they hopped and balanced on the branches. She loved the way that they flew. As she ate her morning cereal, something on TV caught Zoe's eye. A gymnast was dancing along a beam, flipping and spinning and landing with her arms out, flying for real. Zoe wanted that too. Her dad took her shopping for a leotard. Her mom drove her to her first ever gymnastics class. Zoe loved stretching, tumbling, and swinging on the bars, but her favorite thing of all was the balance beam. Zoe learned to turn and to jump, light as a bird on a branch. Other kids in class wobbled, but not Zoe. Soon, Zoe was ready to fly, just like the gymnasts on TV. She stood on the end of the beam and gripped it with her toes. She lifted her arm, then she leaped. For a moment, Zoe flew. Then she hit the mat with a thump. Zoe's knee hurt, her shoulder hurt, her head hurt, inside her heart hurt too. That night, Zoe told her parents she didn't want to go back to gymnastics class. Because you fell? Her dad asked. When you were learning to walk, you'd fall down and get right back up. But Zoe didn't remember learning to walk. She did remember hitting the mat with a thump. One time I fell running a race, her older brother said. Then I picked myself up. You can't let a fall make you quit. But Zoe's brother was big and she was little. I fall all the time in karate, her older sister told Zoe. That's part of what we do. Learn to fall without getting hurt. But falling had hurt. Zoe didn't want to fall again. Let's go out, Zoe's mom said. Go out, asked her dad. Why? To celebrate, said her mom. Celebration meant ice cream with hot fudge and sprinkles. What are we celebrating? Asked Zoe's brother. Zoe's first fall, said Zoe's mom. It's good news. How is falling good news? Each fall makes you better, Zoe's mom told her. Now you have to try again. Maybe you'll fall, but maybe not. You won't know unless you try. A tiny bird soared over Zoe's head. The next week, Zoe went back to gymnastics. She did somersaults and cartwheels, she turned flips, and she danced along the beam. Sometimes she fell off, but every time she did, she got right back on. After several weeks, Zoe's class put on a show for all the families. When it was Zoe's turn, she hopped up onto the beam. She paused and lifted her arms and her chin. Her parents smiled, and her brother and sister cheered. Her coach nodded. Zoe breathed deeply. In a moment, she would jump into the air. She didn't know if she would fall or if she would land safely, but she knew one thing. She was ready to fly.
Please explain what inspired you to write this book and the main message of the book.
I think a big reason, or a big, thing that inspired me to create this book was knowing that there were a lot of little girls out there who probably went through what I went through, which is being so young and watching the older girls do such big skills and wanting to do that, but not knowing where to start or how to get there or what that would look like. And sometimes that looks like falling a lot. So being able to share my story and share the story of little Zoe, it felt like I was able to kind of high five all of you out there.
How does the young gymnast feel when she falls? Why is celebrating the times that we fall important?
When a young gymnast falls, it can sometimes feel like the end of the world because we're taught what perfection looks like and what the perfect skill looks like, and we know what it's supposed to feel like. And when you fall, you know that it doesn't tick any of those boxes and that it is probably the most imperfect thing out there. But I don't want anybody feeling bad or feeling too discouraged. I want you to understand that you get the opportunity to try again as many times as you want. And it's okay to fall. It's okay for mistakes to happen. And there is a place in that mistake where we can learn from that. And the next time we try something again, we get to take everything we learned and put it into good use. And if we fall again, then that means there's something else that we need to look at. And every single fall means that it's one step closer to getting to exactly where you want to be. So it's exciting.
As a gymnast, balance is incredibly important to you as you practice and compete. Please talk with students about the importance of balance in other aspects of life.
I think the concept of balance is really important, and I don't know if it's talked about enough. A lot of times when we think of balance, we think of gymnasts like me having to balance on the balance beam, but that's not always the case. Sometimes we can do that with our feelings and with what happens at practice or at school too. And it's knowing that if you're feeling really excited about something, but you're also really scared, those things can stay together. You don't have to pick one. They can stay together. And that means that you're allowing balance to happen. When it comes to balancing essentially myself, my well-being, my body, my brain, and how it all works, I have to take it one step at a time. What may work for me today, like waking up early and making some tea and going outside, may not work for me tomorrow. And that's okay. It's just really checking in with myself, being honest. What is it that I need right now that will make me feel balanced? What is it that I'm missing that makes me feel a little bit lopsided? And just attending to that and not having to feel bad about it.
Your nickname is the human emoji, since you are known for showing how you feel inside in very expressive facial expressions. Why is expressing how you feel important in building social relationships?
Expressing how you feel is so important, and it is definitely a bridge and a connecting point to those that you share around you, especially when they handle it in a way that makes you feel safe and makes you feel loved. But it's really important to express yourself. We do that in so many different ways, whether that's how we talk, how we eat, what we want to eat, how we walk, and many, many other things, how we dress, everything that we like and everything that we don't like. All of that and more are different ways of expressing yourself. And when you share those things with other people, it gives them a better look as to who you are, and they get to understand you more. And it's really nice to be understood. When I was 12 years old, I was competing at a really high-level gymnastics competition. And as we know, gymnastics can be a really serious sport. Not a lot of girls are smiling. Everyone is very serious. And I remember being so excited and feeling so much gratitude for being able to show everything that I was practicing. And we choreographed facial expressions into my floor routine because it counted as artistry. And no one had done that in a very long time, or we just don't see that often, that a lot of people were saying, you know what, she's really expressive. We're going to call her the human emoji.
Nina, please show students how balance can be visually represented in sketches.
Sure. So today we're going to draw something fun. I'm going to draw Laurie, and we're just going to do her standing up and trying to balance with one foot. So today I'm going to start with just a regular marker. And we're going to work on her eyebrows. Just going to have them raised up like that. And then we're going to immediately switch to a regular gel pen to flush out her details. Laurie's got some big eyes. And so does Zoe from She's Got This. And I love drawing her eyes. Okay. I love drawing little eyelashes on the side. I'm just going to color her eyes real quick. and her nose, and her very big smile, and confident smile. So now we're going to move on to her body. So I am going to do her hands first and make them, I'm using a thin marker for her body so that it's nice and sharp. And we're gonna lightly sketch out her face. And then from here, I'm gonna switch over to our marker. And I'm gonna create bold lines with her shirt, so that we can tell the difference between where her shirt starts and where her body, her arms and her legs begin. So I'm gonna color her shorts are black. Just gonna color it in with the same marker. Doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I cross hatch like this. Sometimes I don't. I just depends on my mood. Let's make this shirt thicker here. So I'm going to do the fun part now, which is her hair. I'm going to stay with my marker. And we're going to create her curls here. Her curls the best part about curls is they can be any shape and size. Just go with it. And I just fill it in with more circles. See, I'm not trying to be perfect about it. Just filling it in. Now we're going to take the same gel pen. We're going to put little details. This is the fun part. So curls or any hair, there's always little straggly things. And those are the details that make your art stand out. And I'm going to color using the same pen. A star. And stars. Okay. They're not perfect stars. They don't have to be. So now I'm going to use, she's wearing a yellow shirt. So I'm going to use this crayon, this easy peel crayon. I'm just going to start coloring her shirt. All right. And now I'm going to use a fun marker, another marker, maybe this blue one for the stars. And I'm just going to shade it in. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. In my art, I like to mist a lot, the white areas that I don't get to color in. I think it's fun. Adds a little character to the sketches. So now we're gonna use one of these Colors of the World crayons. I think this one. We're just gonna give her some shadows using this. Should be shadow here, maybe under her neck. And shaded some of her arms. And then I'm going to take a colored pencil, maybe a pink one for her cheeks. I'm just gonna give her some blush. And there you have it. There's Zoe from She's Got This. Using all the technique we mentioned about balance.
Thanks, Nina. Now, please demonstrate how students can make some interesting emojis based on the feelings Laurie described and the facial expressions she shared.
So building on the theme of balance, I'm gonna demonstrate how we can use emojis to show the balance of emotions. So I'm gonna start with my pencil. So let's start with joy. When just like when Zoe first entered a gymnasium. So I'm gonna have the eyes kind of so happy. You can't even see them. Okay. For our emoji, we're gonna add eyebrows just because I think they're fun. So this one's really happy. And then we're gonna take our marker and we're just gonna outline our emoji. And then just the eyes. I'm gonna shade that in to make the outline thicker. Okay. Then I'm gonna go back to my pencil. And what is the opposite of joy? Let's do frustration. Let's do frustration. So it's the opposite. So let's do some really sad eyes. You can see almost all the lines are kind of just the opposite of each other. And then if we don't have the balance of joy and frustration, it just won't feel, doesn't feel complete somehow. In my experience, we all need that balance, don't we? Frustration is an opening to some kind of lesson, that's for sure. So now we're gonna do, let's say, prideful. Let's do a prideful face. That's a challenge. I always think of pride as looking up and confusion. I don't think that's working. See? It's okay to make mistakes. It's fun to explore. Let's see. What's my confused face? It helps if you do it yourself, if you make the faces yourself. This looks more scared. Let's go with it anyway. This one's proud because it knows exactly what to do. This guy is not so sure that I made a confused face. Now let's color it in with yellow to give it that full emoji effect. I really love my prideful face. So much fun. And this sad face. So here we have it. Our emojis expressing balance, our emotional balance of joy and frustration and pride and confusion. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored and excited to be here. And I can't wait to see what you have created.
Thank you, Laurie and Nina, for sharing your inspirational ideas. And thank you to all the kids in schools and homes across the country for joining us today. Educators and parents, be sure to check out more exciting Creativity Week ideas at Crayola.com/creativityweek. And share your kids' artwork so others can see how they balanced things in their lives and the emojis they created.